So today I'm going to share with you guys about what exactly does the Ketu in second house and Rahu in the eighth house trying to tell you. So let me talk about it. So first of all, let me explain what exactly is the hidden psychology of the second house and the life lesson of the eighth house is about. So second house essentially is defined as under what conditions or context will your mind start to shift focus onto physical pleasure that gives you especially stimulation, excitement, or nostalgia. Either it's through physical resources, pleasant sights or sounds, money, or interior or home designs that give you nostalgia, etc. You know, second house implies under what conditions will your mind start to shift onto these things or themes or matters way more than other themes. As for eighth house, it is about the life lesson of learning right concentration or involve yourself in meditation more when dealing with certain themes or certain zodiac signs or certain contexts. So, what exactly is the K2 in second house trying to tell you? In by literal description, word for word, it's about being non attached towards resources or money or things that give you physical stimulation or excitement or nostalgia. Now, I want to try to explain what does K2 in the second house mean by giving four suggestions. So first of all, K2 in the second house or South Node in the second house is about if you have a placement like this, try not to proactively or deliberately chase after what objects, belongings, or experiences that give you physical stimulation, excitement, or nostalgia. Because you will tend to feel um, energies or experiences hurling back at you, right? It's kind of like the energy kind of making it very stagnant for you to try to be living your life in peace, right? It's like the energies or energies become stagnant, and then you will feel like you will always meet a lot more obstacles than you intended to be when you try to proactively or deliberately chasing after sensual pleasures. Like it's like a mode where you constantly boost sales performance. For example, it's kind of like a trait when it comes to chasing after sensual pleasures. So do look out for that. So it's not try not to proactively or deliberately chase them, but if the opportunity presents itself, then there's nothing wrong with chasing it. Just try not to proactively chase them. So the second point or the second suggestion that I would give to explain what is K2 in the second house is to try to transcend from your mindset of seeing money or certain sales performance as most valuable. You try to transcend that mindset or that philosophy to seeing life as most valuable. For example, um, value more towards people who safeguard resources, who prevents other from stealing instead of people who just being efficient or being having good sales performance, right? Instead of seeing employees that have good or excellent sales performance as most valuable, try to notice more of employees who you know don't commit adultery or cheat on others, or try to notice more employees that has that protects others finances or money, or try or especially important, try to notice more of people who you know willing to protect or cherish life a lot more. For example, not stepping on ants. Certain employees tend to like be mindful and less step on ants, like small ants, a lot less than other people. right? They tend to, watch out for ants a lot more than other employees. Try to value these kinds of employees instead. That is my second suggestion. So the third one is about, you know, if chasing after certain physical pleasures or pleasant sights or sounds, there's nothing wrong with feeling deja vu about it, but it's very important to use the opportunities of free captive events to free abuse or kidnap animals or human beings and do more good deeds in regards of protecting or saving lives. For example, such as something similar to a firefighter. Of course, you don't need to be a firefighter, but just to take note, using a similar analogy to try to be mindful and try to do good deeds about protecting life, even little by little, just even a little bit helps, so to ensure you can keep those positive deja vu moments in the afterlife or even in the future. So the last suggestion that I would give in order to explain what exactly is Ketu in the second house is to try to be more tranquil or try to stir less commotion when it comes to demanding material comfort or material ease or chasing sensual pleasures. For example, this is a micro suggestion that I would give, but having a strong work ethic or being more self reliant, for example, putting in more work and honest, good to honest work. Let's say instead of trying to hire people to do your work, right? For example, like Quebecop, right? Like how Jaden did. Instead of trying to hire AI or workers to do your work, right? Maybe try to put in, being self-reliant or put in more work to try to design the art or the edit the videos yourself instead of hiring more people to do so, right? Trying to put in the effort yourself instead of demanding results from others when it comes to demanding material comfort or money or material ease, etc. So these are the four suggestions that I will give when it comes to K2 in the second house. Now, Rahu in the 8th house will be a significantly shorter one. So currently, I don't have a very well-rounded understanding when it comes to Rahu in the 8th house, but let me try to formulate a suggestion on the spot. Obviously, Rahu or North Node is about exploring new options when it comes to certain themes related to that house, but in 8th house specifically, it's about exploring new options when it comes to non-dependence on demanding material comfort, right? You can also suggest new philosophical topics about it, depending on the context. But basically, it's about being open-minded and exploring new options when it comes to, for example, dwell into right concentration, meditation, jhanas, for example, inner rapture, inner joy, right? Is to permit yourself to have a space that allows for inner rapture and inner joy. And you will see there is a sense of relationship in between the second house and the 8th house, because physical comfort and material comfort or sensual comfort, pleasant sights, sounds, material gain, money, they are all have a common theme in which they give peak physical stimulation, excitement, or nostalgia. Now, nostalgia not necessarily, but physical stimulation and excitement is very relatable when it comes to 8th house, because 8th house is not about physical stimulation or physical excitement, but it is about inward or inner stimulation or inner excitement. It's kind of like when you are being non-dependent on material comfort, which kind of jhanas or meditation states do you feel rapturous, right? Rapture, Rapture, and it's, at least from my speculations, it is way more personal. And it's very important that these two can relate to each other in a way, strangely, but they are not directly two sides of the same coin. Let me clarify. Though they are more relatable to each other than people might have expected, but in a more obscure niche kind of way, not in the traditional kind of way. Traditionally, they are completely unrelated. So, but obscurely, they are strangely more related than you might have expect. So let me explain. So, right, we talk about physical excitement and physical stimulation, right? You can use the themes from the second house to um, from there you can try to relate to eighth house, because eighth house is also about excitement and stimulation, but it's turning more inward and inner, right? Instead of like, right, based off virtues, based off concentration, meditation, based off mental redirection, based off self-reliance, etc. So this is very important, because jhanas and meditation essentially is not about abandoning excitement or stimulation, is to turn them inward. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So this is very important. Second house can be used to gateway to the eighth house, and also eighth house. Let me give one more example. This is more of a fantasy story from the Buddha's lifetime, right? Obviously, it's kind of a very superstition, or like a text, right? Ancient Buddhist text, but it's very relatable, right? For Bodhisattva has gone through extreme austerities, and later he found that physical nourishment and keeping your body fit and healthy to do meditation, to do good work, is very important for meditation. Why? Because it's the same thing as the concept I previously said. And also, it's never wrong to seek after food or shelter or basic needs. You just have to be tread lightly and be tranquil about it. Of course, at that period, it's also like sufficient enough for Buddha himself to, for him to continuously involve in rigorous meditation, right? Otherwise, if it's like food is really bad, he probably wouldn't do that, right? It's also decently enough. So same thing about the eighth house to the second house. There is a story I would like to share with you guys. Now, obviously, you would think I am crazy for believing in this, maybe, but let me give you an analogy as to how I will try to relate from the second house. The themes of the eighth house, sorry, not second house, from the eighth house to the second house. So this is something called the elder, or Reverend Sariputta, right? This is the first chief disciple of the Lord Buddha. Before he was awakened, or he attained, or he foresee Nibbana, the unbinding element, he meet up with the already ordained no elder Asaji at the time, and he was exclaiming that to elder Asaji that his serene are his features, serene are your features, friend. Pure and bright is your complexion. Under whose friend are you gone forth as an aesthetic, so forth and so forth. So this is very important, because you can see the first sentence here. Serene are your features, friend. This means that right concentration under proper training can produce, physical manifestation that is very serene and bright, and pure and bright and soft is the complexion, right? So right concentration, or jhanas, or meditation, in a way, can help with your physical appearance or your physical manifestation towards the world, right? Which is also, the main theme about another main theme of the second house, right? The physical appearance, physical manifestation, etc. Now, obviously, this is just a superstition. I personally believe in it, but this is another good potential example or analogy as to why eighth house and second house are related, but not in a traditional sense. So yeah, this is the reasoning. At the end here of the video here, this is the main line of reasoning as to why second house and eighth house are related, just not in a traditional sense, or can be related. And the first major parts of the video are how what the Ketu in second house or the Rahu in the eighth house is trying to tell you, and what are my suggestions and advice when it comes to how to be tranquil or non-attached or less attached to material comfort or demanding material comfort, and to try to explore more options when it comes to higher concentration, inner or inward rapture, or meditations and jhanas. So this is the end of today's video. Thank you very much.